I had to get comfy. Decided to sit out on my porch for today's check-in. Goodness. Might be a little echoey. We'll see. I didn't test it out before because I was putting my kid down for a nap. And she wanted to read 2 books because, she wanted to take a nap, but books were more important. Hey, Ellyn, and hey, Larry. Excellent. It is, let me think, Tuesday? Yes, it's Tuesday, the 28th. Sometimes I'm really glad that my my watch tells me the day of the week as well. Days have been blurring together a smidge recently. That's what happens when there's a lot going on, for sure. So just a couple updates for everybody. Larry is working on updating HancockHelps.org with some of the newer things that are happening. And, for those of you who have been following, May 1st, there may be some businesses that kind of start to open up, maybe on a limited basis. So as those things happen and we receive that information, you can find it on Hancock Helps. So keep an eye out for that. And let's see, so today is Tuesday. So a couple opportunities for some extra support if you would like them. Today at 2 we'll have our Looking Up program, so that's on Zoom, and this week's theme is self-care, which is really appropriate. So you can check us out there. You can also join us today. There is a 4 o'clock open recovery meeting for anybody who's struggling with anything, or seeking just to be a better human being. It is open to all pathways of recovery, all types of recovery. That's what we believe in, and that's what we are here for. So yeah. All right, so let's get into today's recovery check-in. I'm gonna start out with gratitude moment, as always. And today I am really grateful for dandelions. And one of the reasons that I'm really grateful for dandelions is that they are one of the first blooming flowers of spring. And I have a yard literally full of dandelions, and I don't care. I like the dandelions. I don't really dig them being in my flower bed, but I'm totally cool seeing them in my yard, because they're bright and they're yellow and they're happy, and I cannot wait until my little girl is big enough that she's bringing me bouquets of dandelions. I mean, I did that when I was a kid, and and brought them to my mom, and she always accepted them so graciously, and I don't know, dandelions are cool. Birds can eat them. You can put them in a salad. You can make I don't know, dandelion stuff, and they get when they're mature and they get all those little puffball things, they just kind of spread like wildfire, and that's just, I don't know, this is cool. So I'm grateful for dandelions and just those that bright pop of yellow, and almost little carpet of yellow that it brings to my yard. So oddly enough, there we are. So today's recovery check-in topic definitely follows our theme for the week of self-care. But it is something that popped up in my life 3 separate times yesterday. And I love talking to people because I get little nuggets, and I love talking to people with different experiences and different pathways and different lives than me, because I learn so much. And Yesterday I had the opportunity to talk to 3 different people, and the same thing came up 3 different times. And that was the concept of self-care taking time. So that is, I think that's an aspect of self-care that I don't think we talk about a whole lot. And it's one I think we need to pay attention to, particularly right now, you know, in whatever you might be going through, this public health situation, and maybe you're struggling with, you know, feelings of sadness or grief or anger, or feeling alone, or, you know, feeling maybe hopeless a little bit, feeling like you uncertain, feeling like you don't know when stuff is gonna end. You might be feeling like that, and you know, we've talked about like how to cope with some of those feelings, and we always say, you know, self-care, 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 and we talk about all the ways that looks like, and you know, we're talking about that this week, and we're talking about, you know, emotional self-care and physical self-care and mental self-care. And I know for me, I forget that self-care takes time. And like, that sounds silly, but like I sometimes, like I do myself a disservice by looking at self-care like a list, like a checklist. Like, man, I am a girl, like I love my list. I love list. And I look at self-care like a list, and sometimes I even make it a list, and I make it like a checklist, and I'm like, okay, yoga, done. Eat right, done. You know, pet my puppy dogs, done. Hug my kiddo, done. You know, reach out to a supporter, done. I'm like, check, feels good. And then I get to that end of my self-care list, and I'm like, well, shit, why don't I feel better? You know, and it occurred to me yesterday, like, sometimes when I can speak for myself, when I am doing my self-care and it's not having the same kind of effect, it's because I rushed it. And in rushing it, I half-assed it. You know, I did it. I went through the motions. I did the task, but I didn't let the task work on me. I didn't let that seep into my heart, into my soul, into my actions, you know? And if I half-ass my self-care, I'm only going to get half the result. You know, if I rush things, I'm only ever going to get halfway there. You know? And so, yeah, I mean, I can say, you know, yeah, I reached out to a supporter because I texted them and said, hey, and maybe I pulled the loophole of like, yep, I reached out to them. Did I get a response? Maybe, probably not. You know, so I should have reached out to another supporter, and I should have had an actual conversation with a supporter, you know. And so I was looking at it like a checklist, you know. And yesterday I had the honor of talking to some people who are very close to me and very dear to me, and that I love. And, you know, one person I was talking to, he's like, I'm going to take my time with this. I'm going to take my time and allow myself to have that time. And I was like, shit. I feel like I'm rushing things, and I rush my self-care, and I rush my feelings especially when I am feeling and experiencing things that I don't like, things that make me uncomfortable, things that make me sad, things that make me angry. Like, I want to rush through those feelings and get to the other side of them. One, because I know that there is another side. Like, there is another side of that. Like, I know that I will be happy again, and I will be joyous again, and I will, you know, feel those positive emotions again. You know, and so that makes me want to rush through. It makes me want to rush through the shit. And I can't. You know, if I do, I'm going to end up with some kind of partially healed something, and it's not going to feel right. It's not going to feel right. And so sometimes that best self-care is taking that time, you know. And if I'm in a pile of shit, what's the best way to get rid of a pile of shit? Shovelful by shovelful. also known as the best way to eat an elephant is piece by piece. But I'm a farm girl, so we shovel shit. You know, like that's the only way that you can unbury yourself sometimes is piece by piece. You know, whether your shovel is a spoon or a spade or an actual shovel or a bulldozer, you can only do it one bucket at a time. You know, and flower, you know, just like it's like flowers don't grow overnight. Even dandelions don't pop up overnight. They kind of maybe seem like they do, but they don't. You know, they have deep roots where they get their nourishment from, where they get, you know, water and nutrients and energy from, and they use that to grow leaves and to grow stems and to grow a flower and to keep coming back every single freaking time, even after the lawnmower chops their heads off. The dandelions come back. Like, they're resilient little mofos. You know, because they use those deep roots and they use what they know that they have underneath, and that power and that resilience to always keep coming back better and stronger and spread their lovely little sunshiny love. So that was a little bit of a tangent about dandelions, but you know, to kind of go back to the topic, I know lots of people right now are struggling with lots of things, and I've been a part of so many conversations where people are like, I'm doing my self-care and it's not working. I'm doing this and it's not working. And, you know, my answer used to be like, well, maybe there needs to be a different tool. Maybe we need to look at a different kind of self-care. Like, let's brainstorm some stuff, you know. And I realize now that maybe I also need to ask, well, how much time are you taking for that self-care? How much time and space are you giving yourself to really allow those things to work? You know, are you rushing through it? Are you just treating it like a checklist, like a thing to do, rather than as a thing to build yourself back? It takes time for water to fill a pitcher. It takes time for a dandelion to sprout. It takes time to unshovel yourself from a pile of shit. It takes time to eat an elephant. All of that takes time. So, I think the challenge, if you're struggling with self-care right now, if you're struggling with hard things right now, is ask yourself, what time are you giving you? And are you giving yourself enough time? And be real honest about that. And if you're not, you know, maybe let's look at some ways that you can create more time and more space for you. So we'd love to help you out with that. We'd love to help you brainstorm what you can do. So again, check out the 2 o'clock, check out our 4. We would love to hear from you, as always. I know things are hard, and this whole like last month or whatever is wearing on people, and people feel worn and feel tired and want to rush through this. Like we want to apply like a checklist and be like, check, 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 done. Life is back, right? And it's not going to be that way. And within that, we have that opportunity to take some good time. Time for ourselves, time for the people that we care about, time for the people that we love, and time to really listen in the way that we should, both to ourselves and other people. So just some food for thought, little nuggets for the day. Hope that helps someone out there. And if you guys need something, please feel free to reach out, give us a call. Our number is 419-423-5071. Just about forgot it. You can also message us on Facebook. You can send us an email to focus@focusrwc.org. You can also, you know, if you're really struggling with something, I cannot encourage you enough to please reach out. There's a crisis line. There's a crisis text line that you can text if you're having a bad day, if you're approaching that crisis, if you're in a crisis. It's really easy. It's 741-741. You know, please reach out if you're struggling to someone. More than one someone's. Reach out to someone's, like 5 people. Okay? So, all right. So that's what I got for today. Please check out the other things. Reach out, get support, stay connected. And as always, keep your hearts and minds resilient and take that good time for yourself. Give your self-care that time to work. And we'll see you tomorrow at noon. have a terrific, tremendous Tuesday.